What is going on, guys? My name is Doug, you're always on board, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how to remove a sky using the background eraser tool, and we're going to get straight to the point here by giving you an image that I found on Google. So this is in the description if you guys would like to follow along. From here, what I usually do is duplicate that layer just so that I have a backup copy just in case, and we're going to hide that so that it doesn't become viewable later on in the video. And then now, if you click on E on your keyboard, it'll take you to the eraser tool by default. And if you click on that and hold, and you drop down to the background eraser tool, then we can get to that. So we're going to change some settings here up at the top left. The setting for the size of the brush, we can keep it for 500 for right now. Click on sampling once, discontinuous. We're going to put it on contiguous. And then tolerance 50, and then I'm going to uncheck protect foreground color. Later on in the tutorial, we will be checking that back on, so just keep that in mind. Now if you right click over the image, it'll bring up the same menu that you would have got if you clicked on this brush icon. And what I'm going to do is keep the size at 500 because we can change the size, we can change the size of the brush by the left and right bracket keys. So right clicking and changing the size here is a lot slower than using the right and left bracket keys, so let's just use those. The hardness will be at 100, spacing will be at 50, and then we will move off of the menu and begin to click and erase the background. Now if you click once and drag, it'll obviously make it to where it'll space out and erase around that area. For me, it'll be a lot faster if I just take out the areas around here with just the regular eraser tool just to get that stuff out of the way. Because sometimes it doesn't collect everything, and this is just a lot faster. Mainly, we're going to use the background eraser tool to take away the blues in between the branches and stuff of the trees, and to take away the blues away from the grass. So let's just get all of this. Okay. And so now we're going to go back to the background eraser tool. And the first thing that I would do is I would click on Alt, which would bring up this eyedropper, and I would click the blue that is surrounding the tree. Now here, after you select that, it'll make that your foreground color. So let's just click around that area, and it should do a pretty good job at taking the blues away from the tree. We'll go through this pretty fast. Let's see, boom, boom, boom. And after you go through taking away that shade of blue, you can just eyedrop a different shade of blue because there's some things that won't get picked up and there's some things that will get picked up. But for the most part, you just want to get the big blue areas first. And then once you get around these tree parts, we're going to have to change some settings up a little bit. So we got the main stuff out of the way, and a good way of telling if you got all of it, because right now it looks like it because it's all transparent. But if you were to go over here to new layer, and then if you click on D, that would make it to where the foreground's black, and then G, that makes the paintbrush or the paint bucket tool come out. We can fill this in black and then drop this layer below that tree layer, and as you can see along the grass line there's some blues that look like they were gone at first, for me I guess. And now we can erase those now that we see them. So it just brings out that the stuff that you don't see. Now we can click on that and make sure that we're on that layer again, and then just select that stuff. That's right there. And I'm going quickly through this tutorial because I already have an example of this completed for you guys that I'll show you in a second. But now you guys are probably going to click on a branch or something, and this is going to happen, and then you're going to be confused. Well, all we have to do here is, one, I would advise that you zoom in just to get a closer look. So Command plus or Control plus and minus is the shortcuts that go zoom in and out. Okay. Now that we're zoomed in, like I said earlier, we can click on the Alt or Option key on a Mac to do the eyedropper. So let's grab that blue and click, and as you can see, it'll remove the blues in that area. But if it starts to get to a point where every time you do it, it does that, we can make the tolerance, tolerance is up here. We can make that tolerance to let's say 75. And with that tolerance, we can get a better selection of the blues around it. And as you can see there, let's zoom in a little bit more. That's a little bit too much. Right in this area, if I hit Command Z to go back, you can see that when I clicked, it kind of took away the other colors right here. A good idea for that is to prevent that is to click up here and go to protect foreground colors. And now we can do this, and it'll take much longer to actually get rid of the blues, but that's probably because we're going to have to take another eyedropper of that blue, and it's very tedious. Another way that we can get in between the branches for a better result is coming up here to limits and clicking on discontiguous. And then when we click, it removes much more blue in between the trees. So taking your time on this is key, obviously, for any type of edit that you do. Nothing really comes fast if you want that best result. But with these settings that I have set here, I'm able to remove a bunch of the blue, as you can see. Now for me, let's just say that I have gone through and I'm satisfied with the sky removal, and I feel like there's enough blue that's removed. So we can go like this or hit Command 0, which will make it to pop full screen to fit the screen perfectly. Now I have another link in the description for clouds if you guys would like to see that. Here it is right here. And the size of the cloud image isn't that large, so Command T to shift that up, Shift Option or Alt. Okay, and then click the check mark. We're gonna drop that below that layer, and as you can see, this is looking pretty good. And if you were to go through and take your time, you wouldn't see stuff like this. So we can click back on that and just fine tune it a little bit. Let's get the blues out. So this is a pretty cool tool, but honestly, I would normally not use anything that has to do with an eraser, but for this circumstance, this is pretty much a good result that I can get. So it turned out all right. But normally I would do masking, and I plan to have tutorials based around masking so that you can edit without actually deleting something forever. And so stay tuned for a tutorial on that. Let's see. So pretty much that's the gist of this tool. I was going to show you guys the completed the version that I already did, but I think that I pretty much nailed it on this tutorial for this. And I have another sky that I can put in here, like if you just want to make everything more dramatic. Let's see. Let's scale this one up. So you can put any type of cloud you want back there. It's up to you. But that is how you would use the background eraser tool to remove skies and to put clouds in and stuff like that. So if you guys have any other requests on tutorials, that gives me an idea on what videos I should make in the future, and I will get around to doing that. In the description, there's a Google+, Facebook, and a Twitter where you can contact me, and I'll respond, and we can talk, and you can ask me stuff, and I can help you. And yeah, so my name is Doug, always on board. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Take care.